This is Peter with Wahing Realty, and today we're going to talk about how come real estate market keeps going up in the East Bay. So a lot of you are as puzzled as about it as I am, because as you may know, my prediction didn't go well. I sold all my rentals a few years ago, and the market keeps going up. And in like February, March area, everybody was talking about like the sky is falling, get out of stocks, get out of real estate. But how come the market keeps going up? So in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit more about about it, because I thought it was going to go down as well, but it didn't happen. Okay, so when you talk about like how come the real estate prices gotta go down, right? The first thing people think of right now will be, right? Yeah. So if there's a pandemic going on, people are dying. Who cares about the housing market? Nobody's gonna buy, right? Sell. And then nobody sells. And people are scratching their head and say, hey, how come? So let's study together, shall we? Right? First thought coming out from COVID-19, what would you think? Right? I think shelter in place. Right? I certainly stay home a lot more than I used to. And turn out shelter in place is actually good for the housing prices. You know why? Because people are not going out to eat. People are not dining out. People are not driving too much. People are not doing exotic vacations. They save more money. Right? And if they save more money, what are they gonna do with it? Are they gonna just put it underneath the blanket or carpet? It's either house, right? Or stocks, or community, gold, right? Gold, silver, whatever, right? They spend money there, right? Because they don't know what to do with it. That's why after the crash, the corrections in February, even stock went up, right? Housing market went up. Everything went up. And the other thing is, let's talk about this here and work from home. A lot of companies are letting their workers working from home. If you're a programmer, if you're marketing, you know the deal. And even if you're doing like stock trading for 1K stuff, all my sisters are working from home. But why does that have to do with the Bay Area East Bay home prices? They did a study that a lot of it started to become a way of life. Is some company would say, oh yeah, from now on you just work from home. Who knows what will be going on? The business model changed, and some company like Google, they would say, oh, you only need to come to work once a week or once a month, but the rest of the time you can work from home. Well, if I work in San Francisco or if I work in Mountain View, and the company asks me if I want to stay, work from home 4 days out of 5, why do I need to live in Mountain View, right? Or San Francisco, where I can either buy $1 million, I can buy a single bedroom, or even a studio in San Francisco. I can buy a 4-bedroom in East Bay, right? So people are moving away from like the Silicon Valley and San Francisco, and they're moving closer, or they don't want to move to Texas, right? But they want to move close enough, but not as expensive, right? So working from home actually jack up the price for East Bay homeowners too. And of course, if you're a seller and if you're owner occupied seller, right? Are you going to sell your house right now? Who knows who comes in, right? What if somebody who came in to look at the house here is COVID-19 positive? Last week, I actually show a house. Well, I was planning to show a house, and then the listing agent called and say, "Oh, you can't show the house right now." One of the agent may have that one of the agent has a client that's tested positive for COVID-19. Okay, I'm not showing the house, right? But if you're an owner-occupied seller, a lot of them are holding off until maybe they get the vaccine, right? You know, if I'm not in a hurry to sell, and the market is going up, I probably won't sell at all, right? Until something happens. So supply, right? Went way down, right? If you look at my other videos and my newsletter, I actually gave you all the active, pending, sold. They are a lot lower than last year. Okay, so and let's talk about unemployment. The funny thing is, with the COVID-19 and unemployment, well, I guess both, right, leads to stimulus. Right, you remember, most of you or some of you may get the $1,200 per adult, 500 per kid, right? And you have the 600 for unemployment, and you have the PPP loan, right? What does this do, right? It stimulates the economy, but it also leads to inflations, right? Well, if an apple costs you, $1 to buy, but they increase the currency amount from, $1 million to $2 million, right? When you buy the same apple, instead of costing you $1, it may cost you $2, because there are more money flowing around. So that affects the real estate market somewhat too. Well, I don't know if you noticed, I certainly did. Food costs more. Of course, cleaning product, if you can find it, costs more. And then, the people that need to buy groceries and need to buy cleaning product, they will demand raises, right? So, and then their boss will need to raise the salary, so they have to raise the, whatever widget they sell as well, and that trickle down, and then the whole economy will be, all the prices will be inflated. And let's see. And the other thing about unemployment is they actually did an interview with the CEO of Redfin. They mentioned a lot. Well, yes, true. There are a lot of people unemployed right now. Due to shelter in place, a lot of businesses are not even open. Some of them even went bankrupt. Some of them are not opening again. That's really sad. But the people who work there, they're not the people who buy homes in the first place. You have all your blue collar workers. You have your people who work in the airport, right? People who work in retails, right? Those are, according to the CEO of Redfin, those are renters. So the amount of renters loses a job. There's a lot of them, but that doesn't affect the buyer's pool. So supply went down, demand kind of stayed the same, according to this. But demand actually went up. You know why? Because I'll just put it here, right? Interest rate went down a lot compared to last year, which is people are getting 4. Now you can get 30-year fixed for under 3. And I did another video on how to calculate the effects of interest rate. the short version of it is, if you get 1% higher in interest rate, your purchase power go down about 9 to 10%. But if interest rate go down, your purchase power actually go up by 10%, right? So all the buyers are flooding all the buyers are flooding into getting the loan pre-approved and try to buy houses because they can afford more now. 1,000 mortgage used to get you like $200,000 in mortgage, right? 1,000 in payment get you 200,000 mortgage. Now get you 250, right? So people are rushing to buy, and we have a bigger demand and less supply. At least in the short run, this is what's going on, and the trend is going higher and higher, and the trend is really strong. The last 2 listings I've sold, one is not closed yet, but I can tell you it's higher than asking and higher than comps by a certain percent. But the other one I've sold, that one is recorded, it was like 10% higher than the comp price. So market is going higher, but what are some of the other factors? I don't want to write it. So eviction, the eviction hot, I say it's going to play a pretty big role on the next few months, because right now there's no evictions, and I think it's fairly unfair to the landlord, because they halt the evictions, but they didn't help the landlord to pay for mortgages, to pay for taxes. Of course, they say that, you know, once the eviction clause is lifted, the renter is going to pay back the landlord. But you know how they are. They not all of them pay back. They may move out and rent something cheaper, but you know, we'll see how that plays out. I think that may play a role with. That may put a downward pressure on the real estate market. Of course, the trade war, we want to see how it goes. The trade war with China and the elections. You know, I know Joe Biden is trying to see if he could get rid of the 1031 exchange. I don't think that's going to happen, but if that happens, it's going to affect the real estate prices as well. So I try to keep my video around 10 minutes, so I think I'm around 10 minutes now. So if you can think of any other factors that play a role, you can leave me a message, you know, leave a comment below, and yeah, so that's some of the reasons why the market is actually booming in the East Bay. Thanks for watching.